Construction was hard until I learned these 5 things. Look at all this grunt work you're expected to do just to make it in construction. Long hours, busted knuckles. A lot of people think you have to ignore your family and work 20 hours of overtime a week just to make a good wage in construction. A lot of people think you have to sacrifice your long-term health and well-being just to make a good wage in construction. It's far from the truth. The problem is, most of the people who say that are not in construction. For the people who are in construction, I can sympathize with them. I know where they're coming from because I used to be them. People spend years stuck on the bottom rung of the ladder, while other guys, some with less experience, seem to leap ahead. It starts to feel like you're never going to get that shot at managing the job instead of just working it. And trust me, I know the feeling. When I started in construction, I was the kid sweeping floors and digging ditches. I felt stuck. I was invisible, and I was constantly questioning if I'd ever be more than just labor. It felt like the project managers, the executives, those roles were for other people. But over the last 20 years, I've worked my way up. Today, I'm a director of construction running multi-million-dollar projects, and I'm making well over 6 figures a year, and have been since I was in my mid-20s. In fact, today, I can say that I'm in the top percentile of wage earners in my age bracket, and that's just not in just construction, but in any industry. That type of growth didn't just happen by accident. It came down to 5 game-changing lessons that I wish someone had told me earlier. So in this video, I'm gonna share those 5 lessons with you. And if you're trying to level up in construction without wasting years of doing things the hard way, this is exactly where to start. This one hits me hard. For years, I showed up, I did what I was told, I collected my paycheck, and I went home. But I wasn't thinking like a business. It wasn't until somebody said to me, "You're not just an employee, you're a one-man company." From that moment on, everything changed. I started asking better questions. Who are my clients? How do I create value? How do I solve problems before they reach my boss? How do I make the company more money than I cost? That mindset is why I started getting noticed. It's why I got promoted. It's why I went from making $8 an hour to $100,000 a year, then $150,000. And then I was making 2 to 3 times what some of my friends who I grew up with were making. So no matter what role you're in, start treating everyone you interact with like they are your client. Start treating it like it's your own business, because one day you just might be working for your own business. This is a big one. I have 2 degrees, mechanical engineering and an MBA. Guess how much they helped me on a job site? Basically 0. I got these degrees almost 15 years ago, and I can honestly say I have never been asked about those degrees. Exactly 0 times. Not one employer, not one client has ever asked me about them, nor can I recall ever referring to the textbooks or the lectures that I attended in college. I got my MBA because I thought I would make more money. I thought it would help me get a better job title. When I finally got it, I actually had my boss, a department head for one of the biggest contractors in California, laugh in my face. I'll never forget it. He said, and I quote, "You know I'm not gonna pay you more just because you got that piece of paper, right? I'll pay you when you're worth it." I didn't start making real money until I stopped chasing titles and started building skills. You wanna move up in construction? You need to understand how the business works. Not just the labor, not just the tools, the contracts, the scheduling, the coordination between trades, the change orders, the budgets, the risks. Construction management is all about knowing how to keep the machine running. And there are ways to learn that without spending a dime on college. Honestly, if I were to start today, I'd skip school entirely. I'd find a course like the one I built for construction project management on Course Careers, and I would find a mentor that teaches the real stuff, then outwork everyone around me. That's the fast track. I know this might be old school, but it's the truth. You could be the hardest worker on a crew, but if you show up looking like you just rolled out of bed, don't be surprised when you get passed over. I'm not saying you need a 3-piece suit. I am saying wear clean clothes, no holes, wear a collar for the job interview, tuck your shirt in. If you have a suit jacket, that helps. When you have the job, dress for the position. Get a haircut, trim the beard, cut your fingernails. Show up early and speak with respect. If you take pride in your appearance in your work, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you don't look like you can take care of yourself, people won't think that you can take care of them, which is your job. I've interviewed hundreds of people, and I can tell you, The perception creates the opportunity. If you want people to take you seriously, make it easy for them to picture you running the job, not just working it. This industry is full of people who do just enough not to get fired. They are dead set on doing exactly what they get paid to do, nothing more, nothing less, their exact job description. That's the lazy middle. But if you're the kind of person who shows initiative, takes ownership, and what do those things mean? You want to find solutions instead of problems. If you have to take every problem to your boss or client, then they don't need you. Make it stop with you. Be the solution. You want to volunteer for tough tasks, and you want to keep asking, what else can I do? If you do that, you'll stand out immediately. Most people, they clock in and they zone out. If you care even 10% more than the average guy, you'll rise, and it'll happen fast. I've seen some laborers become superintendents in less than a year. One in particular was working at a movie theater, then he was cleaning job sites. The next thing you know, 6 months later, he was a superintendent. I've also seen guys come in with 0 experience and become a project manager in less than 5 years. It's not luck, effort, consistency, and attitude. Here's the truth. You can either figure it all out the hard way, or you can learn from someone who's already done it. You may not have the experience, but you can leverage someone else's 20, 30, or 40 years of experience. Every big leap I've made in my career happened because someone more experienced than me took the time to teach me something. That's why I'm so big on mentorship now. That's why I built the course. That's why I partnered with Course Careers to help more people to get into the industry the right way. You don't need to spend years guessing how to move up. You just need to learn from someone who's been there. I'm telling you, mentorship is the cheat code. So if construction feels hard right now, let me remind you of these 5 things. Think like a business, not a worker. You don't need a degree, you just need the right skills. How you show up visually still matters. Outwork the lazy middle and you'll stand out. And mentorship can cut your learning curve in half. If you take those to heart, I promise you the industry will reward you. If you want to get serious about moving up in construction, check out the program I created with Course Careers. It's everything I wish somebody told me when I was 20 years old. And there's a free intro course with 0 pressure to buy. In fact, there's an option to get a refund. The link is down in the description, but whatever career path you choose, don't settle. You've got more in you than just surviving on the job site. Build something better. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below with the one thing that you're gonna focus on next. I read every comment and I'm here to help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.